Good morning. Happy Friday to everyone. Just wanted to thank you for your attendance on today's webinar. Today we'll be discussing Baltimore Life's asset transfer product with our guest presenter Gary Voith with Baltimore Life. I'll get us started here quickly, get through these intro slides so we could get to the meat and heart of the today's topic. Again, I'm TJ Jones with Insurance Agency Marketing Services, one of the life marketing directors. Got a great team over here on the life side with Mark Raymaker, Sandy Vacani, myself, and Adam Welch. So if you have any needs in the life area, please reach out to any one of us. We are always eager to help. I'll start real quick here by talking about our new producer bonus for those that are newly contracted with us. In your first 6 months of contracting with us, you're eligible for one of three new producer bonus levels. First, the $100,000 level, and that's with a combination of either a single premium life or annuity premium. You're eligible for a $750 cash bonus, 2-year subscription to a website and newsletter service or the latest generation iPad. If you want to shoot for the $300,000 level, in premium, eligible for a full Social Security program, 3,000 piece postcard mailing, $2,000 in matching marketing money to promote your business, or a $1,500 gift card. Also, if you want to or additionally, if you want to shoot for the stars, if you will, and shoot for that $500,000 premium level, you'd qualify for a 5,000 piece mailing and seminar coaching with Matt Gill, one of our top producers. 4,000 piece mailing and seminar coaching with another one of our top producers, Mr. Dave Pemper, or a customize your own Ritz-Carlton travel rewards getaway. Our 2018 Top Producers Escape will be held on February 25th through the 28th in the lovely Scottsdale, Arizona at the Boulders Resort and Spa. You could qualify for that trip with a combination of any of the following that you see there at the bottom of your screen. $2 million in annuity premium, $1.5 million in single premium whole life, and so on. The qualification period for that trip is July 1st, 2016 through December 31st, 2017. We've got a number of folks that have already qualified for that escape. Still a lot of time to yet qualify, and today's topic of discussion actually will be of some great help in getting you there as well. I want to highlight our creative services team. We have Tasia Peterson and Joshua Tree Carton over there on the creative side, helping you with any of your marketing needs, from your basic business marketing, logo creation, business cards, stationery, all the way to that video creation, radio advertising as well. And just another quick plug for them, Josh Trecarton put on a social media marketing webinar just this past Wednesday. Great attendance there. He shared some really helpful information. You can go back and view that. Again, it was recorded. If you'd like a copy of that, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to get you a link to view that recorded webinar. Just give me a call at 1-800-255-5055 and ask for TJ. Another service put on by our creative team is the insurance email newsletters. You could see the statistics there in red. 86% of internet users age 65 and older use email. So if you are working with the senior market or within the senior market, a great way to kind of stay in front of your clients and prospects. Touch them frequently so that you are top of mind in their minds. You can qualify for a 30-day free trial of that newsletter service. Just give us a call, and we can assist you with that. Again, 800-255-5055. Ask about the email newsletter service, and we'll get you over to the creative team. Want to discuss quickly our industry recognized IMS Life and Annuity Academy. We just held our first Academy of the year, May 17th through the 19th. We'll be doing another one in September and then again in November of this year. So if you weren't able to make it or qualify for the May trip, 2 more opportunities to do so. We cover a lot of ground in that 2-day training. Annuity, industry threats and trends, of course, DOL implications. Information was shared in the May event. I know that's the implementation actually is upon us here, and so we have just prepared ourselves to prepare you for entering into that world. And again, some of that information was shared in the Academy. We discussed wealth transfer tools, as we will do a little bit of that today, and business insurance concepts. So just a wide variety of topics, great group of folks. And I would be remiss to mention the fact that we sponsored that trip, get you out there, take care of your flight, the lodging, and your meals. So just a great opportunity for you to get poured into and go back refreshed and ready to go to your individual businesses. So if you're interested in attending the Life and Annuity Academy or would like more information, I'm going to launch a very quick poll here. I'm just going to keep this up for about 10 seconds. Just check yes or no, and we'll get some additional information out to you. Just a couple more seconds here, and I'll close that out. All right, thank you for all those that responded. Our paperless contracting system, can't say enough about that. Just super efficient, real time saver when it comes to contracting with the various carriers that we have here at Insurance Agency Marketing Services. You complete one packet when you begin the relationship with us, and we use that information to speedily contract you with any of our great carriers. There's less than a handful that do require some of their company-specific paperwork. Other than that, it's a very quick and seamless process. So if you want more information about paperless contracting, give us a shout. Always encourage our producers to, or prospective producers to visit our website. Great information there, some great sales tools. On the life side, we have a term and guarantee universal life quoter that you could use. Of course, it's available 24/7. So if you are, for instance, conducting some business on the weekend, you need an application or a service form, anything like that, you can go right on the website, use your login to access our forms library for many of our carriers there, as well as a wealth of additional information as well. So www.imsinc.com will get you there. Also want to talk about just a recently launched division within Insurance Agency Marketing Services. That's our IMS Wealth Management Group. For those of you that are either currently Series 65 licensed or are in the process, or it's a thought out there, just know that we have every tool that you need to support that business. So any managed money that you're doing, on the security side, we can assist with that. We are a registered investment advisor firm. So again, we're able to assist you with any needs there. Would love to put you in contact with either Charles Hiring Jr. In the or Mike Hansen in the on the IAMS Wealth Management side. If you're interested in more information on IAMS Wealth Management, again, I'm going to launch another quick poll. Just have this up for a few seconds here. Click yes or no, and I'll get your information over to that team, and they would be more than happy to reach out to you. Looking for asset gatherers. Maybe not necessarily those that are just involved deeply day to day in managing clients' assets, but again, we have the tools to assist you with every aspect of your business there. I'll get that poll closed out, and we'll continue moving here. Retirement analyzer software. Again, this is more on the annuity side, but it's a great fact-finding tool that you can use, and have as you see there in the wording, a repeatable sales process that you use with every client. That's really important to have that process down, have you comfortable with it, have your clients and prospects comfortable with it, and that presentation kind of does the selling for you, if you will, as you discover needs and they present themselves to the clients. It's a pretty open and shut deal. So if you'd like more information on that retirement analyzer software, as you see, it's free to qualifying agents. Please reach out to any one of our annuity marketers, and they will share some more information with you. Again, 1-800-255-5055. A couple quick programs for our producers as well, as we kind of wrap this portion up. A referred producer program, $50 when you refer a producer to us, and that's just for the referral. We cut you a check for $50 when that referral contracts. When they actually do business, $100 comes to you, and then we pay you 20 basis points on business written by your referral thereafter. We also have our great marketing reimbursement program. For every $100,000 in premium that you bring in, we will pay $200 in real money to your marketing reimbursement account, and then out of that account we will cover 50% of business expenses that are submitted. So if you're purchasing leads, if you're doing client appreciation events, if you're wanting some upgrades in the office, anything related to your business can be paid for out of that account. So for more information, don't hesitate to give us a call. I want to thank you for just tuning in here to those intro slides. Any of those things mentioned, again, don't hesitate to reach out, 1-800-255-5055. I'll turn it over here to Gary. Again, thank you for your time.
Well, thanks so much, and good morning, everyone. TGIF, certainly. I hope you're set for a great weekend, as I know I am, and we're ready to go. But in the time we've got today, we're going to be giving you hopefully some ideas to help increase your income, improve the relationships you have with your client and the services that you're providing here today. For some of you that are new to Baltimore Life, hopefully this is new information. If you've participated in one of these sessions before, hopefully you picked up or can pick up a few extra things that you missed on prior sessions. Keep in mind that I do run other webinars that we have on a regular basis that if you need to participate in, we send out email messages to you on that. So let's get started. We're going to talk today about two products related to our tax-efficient asset transfer program, our Generation Legacy and Single Premium Whole Life products. Both these products are really designed with your senior clients in mind who have what we like to call some leave behind money. Money they don't need to live on, they simply want to leave behind to the next generation, thus creating a legacy and doing it by increasing their estate with a single premium and doing it in a very tax-efficient way through the use of life insurance. No matter whether you have after-tax cash funds or you have annuities or qualified plan funds, I think we have a solution here for you in these two products. Let's look at the marketplace. It's absolutely ginormous. $1 to $3 trillion in wealth is expected to happen to be transferred each and every year between now and the year 2052. We know that about 55% of your clients' wealth is moving on to their family members, and about 16% of that wealth is moving on to their favorite charities. So yes, 71% of your clients' wealth is moving on to people and organizations they know and love. The question is, are they maximizing the amount of money they're able to pass along? Or are they just, simply doing it in the most tax efficient way? Well, the first product we're going to be talking about here to solve that is our Generation Legacy product. And as I alluded to, this product is designed for you to facilitate the transfer of single premium dollars from non-qualified deferred annuities and other qualified plan funds that your client really doesn't need for daily living. Certainly, a client wants to increase their estate value and pass on a legacy are key goals. The issue ages, and we'll get into all this in more detail, is 60 through age 80. And our product very uniquely provides you with the opportunity to write a single application. And by writing that single app, we're going to issue two products: a single premium immediate annuity that will receive the transfer of the funds, along with a limited premium payment whole life product. Once issued, both of these products will seamlessly be administered together by Baltimore Life. Nothing for the agent to do, nothing for the client to do, to provide all the benefits I'll be talking about here today. We offer simplified underwriting on this product through 4 tables, and it automatically includes our accelerated death benefit rider we'll get into in all states where that rider is approved, which is the high majority of those states. So what about the qualified market? It's also huge. About $2.7 trillion of in-force deferred annuities are out there. About 65% of that money is tied up in tax-qualified employer plans. And, let's not overlook, we all realize that, many of us in this generation now going forward won't have defined benefit pension plans, right? You've got money in 401ks and IRAs and 403bs, and you're looking for means to distribute those funds, whether it be for income, certainly, or for money that you don't need for income that you want to pass along. Great opportunity. Also, we have about 35% of that $2.7 trillion tied up in non-qualified deferred annuities, many of which I'm sure you're selling today. Your clients love annuities because they're great ways to accumulate cash on a tax-deferred basis. But the question is, are they always needing that money for income? As you probably know, a significant share of your clients are not transferring or not taking money for income. They're simply transferring those funds to the next generation. Of course, with a qualified plan of any type, with qualified funds annuities, you're going to have a minimum distribution set up at age 70 and a half. So even though they don't need income, they're going to have to take a distribution of some amount. And finally, what if the client dies with the annuity? All right, well, they're simply going to be passing the tax along to the next generation, which is probably in a much higher tax bracket, right? And so we know annuities are great products, no disputing that. But are they the best products to die with? And I think we're going to challenge that by looking at a solution we call Generation Legacy. I want you to conceptually think of Generation Legacy as a gift your client's going to be able to pass along to the next generation. And inside that gift box, you're going to help facilitate for the client the transfer of funds from annuities and qualified plans. With writing a single app, as I mentioned, you're going to issue 2 products, a single premium immediate annuity that receives the transfer of the funds, along with a limited premium payment whole life product. Now, over a period of either 7 or 10 years, Baltimore Life will automatically make annual premium payments from that SPIA to pay the premium on the life product until it becomes paid up. So what dictates the payment pattern? It's the issue age. The client 60 to 74, we issue a 10-year payout on that SPIA to pay up the life product. And ages 75 to 80, we issue a 7-year payout on the SPIA to pay up the life product. So here's where the benefits really get rich. What if the client were to die during the period of time while the SPIA is actively being used to pay premiums on that life product? Well, we know that no matter when the client dies, if the life policy is in force, of course, the life policy is going to pay an income tax-free death benefit that's greater than the single premium paid to their beneficiary. But if the client were to die during the 7 or 10-year period while the SPIA is funding that life insurance policy, the client's beneficiary will also receive the remaining payments from the SPIA, either paid out on an annual basis for the remaining years or a commuted lump sum. So the client's Benny is getting both, and that's a huge competitive advantage that we have with this package we call Generation Legacy. So at the end of the 7 or 10 years, the gift package is complete. The life product now is fully paid up. SPIA goes away, it's already done its job. The life product continues to provide an income tax-free death benefit. It continues to provide cash value growth on a tax-deferred basis. And yes, it continues to offer the accelerated death benefit rider we'll talk about. So just to recap, the issue ages are 60 through 80, and we do base our pricing on current age or age at last birthday. Now, the reason this is important is that you're going to be dealing with the transfer of funds from other products and institutions, and that transfer process may take 20 to 35 days. We will issue the policy based on the age your client is the day we receive the funds. The minimum premium to get this started is only $5,000. How many clients do you have out there that have multiple annuities, maybe in various denominations, and maybe you know or maybe you don't know what their actual goal is with that money? Are they going to need it for income? Are they looking to pass it? Great prospects for this product. The maximum face, by the way, the average premium we see on this product is about $60,000 to $65,000. Now, the maximum face amount that we'll issue based on the single premium paid on the life product is up to $450,000. Now, we do have two underwriting classes, non-tobacco or tobacco, and within those underwriting classes, we'll issue any risk standard through Table 4 using our simplified underwriting process. Cash values, they accumulate, of course, in the life product, non-participating basis. Partial surrenders are available from the life insurance policy after the life policy becomes paid up, 7 or 10 years. Loans are available at any time from the life insurance cash value at a maximum interest rate of 8%. So now let's talk about those accelerated death benefit riders, because they truly do provide living benefits to your client. Clearly, the best solution to a long-term care need is a good long-term care policy. But most people, as you know, can't afford long-term care insurance. So isn't it nice to know that they can accelerate their life insurance benefits to provide cash at end of life as they need it? So there are 3 health event triggers that will allow your client to accelerate the life insurance benefits that they have. They are terminal illness, confinement to a qualified nursing home facility, and in situations of extended care, home health care, and adult daycare. Upon the decision to accelerate, which can happen any time after issue, a lien for the amount of money that was taken or accelerated will be deducted from the final death benefit, and we would add an 8% interest factor on that lien at the time. So we'll talk about that more in a moment. The maximum amounts you can accelerate is $250,000. The minimum is $5,000. But the good news here is that this benefit is paid out once, it's paid out in a lump sum, and these are unrestricted funds. The funds can be used for whatever reason the client deems necessary. So now let's take a look at the definitions of these triggers and the percentages of payout. The first one is terminal illness. The client here needs to be terminally ill with a life expectancy of 12 months or less. And here the maximum accelerated rate would be 75%. The second rider covers both nursing home confinement and extended care situations. So for the nursing home confinement, they need to be chronically ill, confined to a nursing home continuously for 90 days with the expectation of a permanent confinement. For extended care, they need again to be chronically ill, have been so for 90 days, but now they're requiring care provided by either a licensed home health care agency or a licensed or state certified adult daycare center. And in both situations, they can accelerate up to 50% of the face amount. Now, there are about 7 states out there that have different provisions for this rider where the percentages may be less than that 75 and 50. For example, in Pennsylvania and Indiana, we do a lot of business there, and those percentages are 65 and 40. A little bit more conservative approach to the payouts. So that gives you a good idea. You can see here that the benefits are designed to be able to pay cash now, but always have, in most all cases, remaining life insurance benefits for the named beneficiary. So what do we mean by chronically ill? If the client satisfies either of these definitions, we consider them to be chronically ill. The first one is they can't perform 2 out of 6 activities of daily living. The second possible scenario, maybe they're okay with their ADLs, but maybe they're suffering from a severe organic mental illness, such as Alzheimer's or dementia. In either case, we consider them chronically ill. So now let's take a look at some examples of how these payouts may work. Here's a client who has a $100,000 face amount on the life product, and they're terminally ill. So they want to accelerate based at a maximum rate of 75%. So yes, they could get a living benefit, a cash payment of $75,000. We do charge a one-time $100 service fee for the transaction. So the lien for that accelerated payment is established at $75,100. Now, if the client were to die immediately after taking that money, no time for interest to accrue on the lien, the remaining death benefit would just be the face less the original lien, giving you $24,900. But the more likely scenario is this one, and that is where they got their cash of 75 grand up front, but now they die 1 year later. So now we take the face amount less the original lien minus a year's worth of interest, giving you the remaining death benefit of $18,892. Now, it would take this client in a terminal condition 4+ years for the interest to outrun the remaining death benefit. Very, very unlikely for that to occur. And that's why the riders are designed that way. There's always supposed to be a design in this product for the have some remaining life insurance benefit. So technically, could these riders terminate in any circumstance? Well, if for some reason you stop the whole life policy, the riders would terminate. You might think, how would the life policy stop if the SPIA is funding it, especially during that 10-year period? Because after 10 years, the policy's paid up. Well, what if the client comes to you in year one and they give you $100,000 and they say, I don't need the money, I want to pass it along. You start a 10-year payment stream from the SPIA to the life product. 2 years into it, they come back to you and say, oh, I thought it was leave behind money, but now I need as much money back as possible. Well, technically, you could end the life policy, cash it in, very little cash value, because most of the money's in the SPIA. The remaining payments from the SPIA in that circumstance would be paid to the beneficiary over the next 8 years. But when you do that, of course, the riders end. So you wouldn't have the accelerated death benefit riders. Second circumstance, of course, is a death. If the client dies, we're going to pay a death benefit, not the riders. And then finally, what if the client accelerates under the nursing home provision at 50%? You can't accelerate a second time. You can only accelerate once and then the riders stop. The last circumstance I kind of alluded to, what if the lien and the interest exceed the remaining death benefit? That's for that client whose terminal is 4+ years. Very unlikely, but if you want to keep this as a qualified life insurance benefit, the owner can repay all or part of the lien at any time. Keep in mind, even though you accelerate a benefit, there's still cash value in the product that accumulates tax deferred. And if you want to accelerate a benefit, you cannot have an active policy loan going on. It's one or the other. The last thing to say here is that no matter whether you accelerate our benefit or any company's similar benefit, always make sure you ask your client to consult with their tax advisor. So let's take a quick look at potential payouts here. Here's the female 70, non-tobacco, who let's say has got 50 grand in an annuity. Her only goal is to pass the money along. At issue, you're able to issue a life policy at a face of $78,451. So you've immediately increased her estate by $28,451. Knowing that if she dies in the first 10 years, the remaining payments from the SPIA would also be paid. Now, here are those payouts on the accelerated death benefit rider. You're looking at the numbers. I mean, this is real cash to a senior client who at end of life wants some cash before they die. And, beautiful rider in my 39 years in the industry. To me, one of the best riders that's ever been put on a contract. It really, really is a favorable benefit. And it doesn't cost anything. It's automatically included. So let's look at another tax efficiency of our program. We feel it's how we handle the transfer of the funds and how the tax can be spread out. So let's say you're transferring money from an IRA. That money's never been taxed before. Or you're transferring money from an annuity. You have a cost basis and a gain. Eventually, Uncle Sam has to be paid on any gain, right? So with our product, what you're doing is you're transferring the money into a qualified SPIA that's going to be used to pay premiums on a life product over 7 or 10 years. As a result, we're able to spread the tax out for that policy owner over the same 7 or 10 year period. So yes, they will get a 1099 over each year, over that 7 or 10-year period. But of course, they eventually had to pay the tax on the gain anyway. But now you're able to spread it out. The beauty is that the payment we're making from the SPIA to the life product does satisfy the RMD rules, so you don't have to worry about that calculation. And as we know, at death, the life insurance is income tax-free, but with the remaining payments from the SPIA, the client's beneficiary would get a 1099 based on the payout of those SPIA payments that were not taxed before. So if it was IRA money, they're going to get a 1099 on the distribution at death on the entire amount. So the normal way that we pay out the remaining payments from the SPIA to a beneficiary are annual payments. So if there's 8 more years left on a 10-year payment stream, they get 8 years of payments. They could say to you, now give me a lesser commuted lump sum instead, and we'll do that as well. One more thing on taxes related to the application. Because we're dealing with qualified funds, we have to ask the question on the app, do you want a withholding from those funds for tax? We have to ask the question, but the way this product has been designed, we cannot accommodate a withholding. The math just doesn't work. The product wouldn't work. And also, the client wouldn't get the advantage of spreading the tax out over 7 or 10 years. So please make sure you check the box on the app that says you do not want tax withheld from the annuity that you're rolling over. Otherwise, we have to send everything back to you. So now let's look at the premiums to death benefits. And I want you to think about those clients you have out there right now who have annuities, no plans of ever needing the money for income. They just want to pass it along. You're going to be a hero to them with this type of a solution. 65 non-tobacco's got 50 grand coming into this. Because they're 65, we're going to have a 10-year payout on the SPIA to a 10-year paid-up life product. The male has a face amount of $77,361 and change. The female has a face of $87,031 and change. So what did you just do for this female 65? You've increased her estate upon issue by over $37,000. Not forgetting that if she dies in the first 10 years, the remaining payments from the SPIA would also be paid. Now, she says to you, TJ, what if I'm making 3% on this annuity and I'm in a 25% marginal tax bracket? Wouldn't I be better off staying with the annuity? It would take her over 19 years just to accumulate and match the $87,000+ that would be paid out from the life product. Keep in mind that life insurance is always going to be there and able to be paid as a death benefit income tax free. So here's the 75-year-old, a little older, shorter life expectancy. Certainly by this point, most 75-year-olds have a good idea whether or not they're going to need those annuities for income. Because this client's 75, we're going to issue a 7-year payout on the SPIA along with the 7-year paid-up life product. For the male, you're increasing this man's estate by nearly $12,000, all right, upon issue. And the female, you're increasing her estate by over $17,000. Not forgetting that if they die in the first 7 years, the remaining payments from the SPIA would also be paid. Great benefit. Seniors really say, wow, is this real? They're really not sure what they're seeing here because they can't imagine that they can pass that much more along to their beneficiaries on an income tax-free basis. Great benefit. It really, really does sell well. And I can tell you one thing is that being a licensed agent myself, marketing this for many years for Baltimore Life, this product, if you sell it, you're going to find that clients love it so much, they're going to tell their friends. And please make sure you ask for referrals early and often because it really will be a game changer for them and help their families. And of course, doesn't do bad for your bottom line. Think about selling. If you're selling only 1 case a month, the impact that's going to make. Remember, the average premium we're seeing on the Generation Legacy is about $60,000 to $65,000. So here's a screenshot of a proposal that you can produce from our proposal software that's on our agent site, or you can produce it from our mobile link software right on your smartphone or smart tablet, and I'll show you a little bit more about mobile link later. Female 70, non-tobacco, it's got 50 grand in an annuity, cost basis of 40. You see in the third column there after the year, the single premium is going in of 50 grand. Out of that single premium, Baltimore Life is automatically making an annual premium payment to the life product of $5,570 a year. The amount excluded from tax based on our basis is nearly $4,000, and based on the interest factor over 10 years, the estimated taxable income that she'll get a 1099 on is $1,570, nearly $71. So it's very important that she understand that she's going to get that 1099. You never want to surprise a client for them getting that 1099. So the whole life death benefit, $78,451 in this example. And that next to last column shows the commuted lump sum of the SPIA payout if it were to be paid early to the beneficiary of death. So once the client understands the basic concept of asset transfer and you've done a good fact find locating the money and the intent of the money, here's where you just drive it right to the close. You're personalizing the numbers. They get it. They like the concept. Now they understand how it's going to work for them. Works very, very well. So what about forms? We try to make this very simple for you. Out on our agent website, we have a product toolkit set up for every product you're contracted for with us. And inside the toolkit, you're going to find really everything you need to sell and market the products. We'll show you a few of those things later. But one of the things are the forms. You'll answer a couple of quick questions. It'll automatically populate for you the forms that you need, and it'll produce the forms for you. You can order them from us however you'd like to do it. And basically, you're good to go. Now, one of the things with the forms package that will come out are a set of instructions. How do I get the forms to you? How to prepare for the case? And more importantly, it will provide you instructions for our point of sale underwriting interview. That's where, as soon as you finish the app, you're going to pick up the phone and you're going to complete a 12-minute or less interview with your client in our call center. After that interview is done, well over 90% of the time, we're going to give you an immediate underwriting decision. Great, isn't it? We'll talk more about point of sale underwriting in a moment. As I said in the toolkit, we have many other great tools. We're going to talk about some of those a little later on. So now let's get into single premium whole life. That's the second product, the sister product, and it has similar goals. Client wants to increase their estate, pass along a legacy, do it tax efficiently through life insurance. But what are the differences? The first of which is the source of funds. This product is going to take funds from after-tax cash vehicles, CDs, money markets, mutual funds, and where appropriate, 1035 to life product exchanges. Another difference, the issue ages, 50 to 85, broader issue age because we're working with a after-tax set of funds. Another difference, underwriting. With this one, we go through 8 tables of underwriting, able to take on a few more risks out there that you're seeing. And finally, we have the accelerated death benefit rider, which provides the same 3 health event triggers you had for the generational legacy rider that was similar. This rider, though, has some unique ways that you can do the payouts, and I'll show you that in a moment. So 50 to 85, again, based on current age, 2 tiers of underwriting. So you're either non-tobacco or tobacco, standard through table 4, or that second tier, table 5 through table 8. So we gave you the first level for generation legacy, but for this one, we have a second tier, table 5 through table 8. So a client with a few more challenging health conditions would qualify. Minimum premium, it's only $5,000 again. How many clients do you have out there that you do fact finds on that have multiple CDs set up? They kind of compartmentalize their funds. I've got 5 kids. These are the 5 CDs for the kids when I die. I got 10 grandkids. Here are the CDs for the grandkids, maybe money for the church. They compartmentalize their funds. These are great prospects to be able to say, hey, let me help you pass that much greater amount along income tax free through this life insurance product. Here's another scenario you might run over. Are any of you in the final expense market where you might be trying to sell a small face amount to a senior who needs it? Maybe let's say the senior says to you, TJ, I don't need any life insurance. I have a burial account set up. Well, that means one of 2 things. They either have a pre-arrangement with the local funeral home, or they got a $15,000 CD set up at the local bank that their kids know that's the money set aside to bury them. Okay, here's how that might sound with a 70-year-old. Mrs. Jones, you're 70. You're going to live many more years. Costs are going to go up. What if I was able to show you a way to take that $15,000 CD and provide your family with nearly a $25,000 income tax-free death benefit? Oh, by the way, if you became terminal in a nursing home extended care situation, we could get you some of that money as a living benefit and still set it up that we have life insurance benefit for your family. Is that something that would interest you? That's called the burial account concept. And I can't tell you how many agents get started selling single premium business in this way. Once they figure out how good it is, they start doing better fact finds and determining the goal of those funds the client has, and then they start selling much bigger premium cases. By the way, the average premium we see on this product is about $30,000 to $35,000. The maximum face amount for this product is expressed in terms of the net amount at risk, and that's simply the difference between the face amount we issue and the single premium paid. That gap is the net amount at risk. Cash values, they accumulate on a non-participating basis. And here's another big difference. Partial surrenders. On this product, because we're working with after-tax cash funds, you can take a partial surrender from this product starting as early as policy year 2. So starting in policy year 2, you can take a 10% partial surrender, third year 20%, fourth year 30%, fifth year 40%, and from the 6th year on, 100% of the available cash value can be taken as a partial surrender. Loans, they're available at any time. Not sure you want to deal with a loan when you have such easy partial surrender capabilities. All right, accelerated death benefit rider. Same 3 health event triggers, we talked about that. Same ability to get the cash out in a lump sum, unrestricted funds. Use it for whatever reason you deem necessary. All that's the same. But here's the differences. The first of which is, what if the client says, I don't have any need for life insurance? Give me as much cash back as possible. That's called a full acceleration. We can do it. Or the client could say to you, well, you know, I do need some life insurance, but I do want as much cash as I can get. Let's keep out of that $100,000 of face, $25,000 for the life insurance benefit paid up, and then take the other $75,000 and accelerate it. That's called a partial acceleration. We can do that. So let's use those examples. Here's the terminal illness trigger. Same definition to qualify, 12 months or less to live. But now if the client wants to do a full acceleration, they can do it at 95% of the face, less a $250 one-time admin charge. Now, if you're unfamiliar with accelerated death benefits, you might say, what happened to the 5%? Well, any company that offers this benefit, there's a cost to accelerating a life insurance benefit, and that cost here is 5%. For the second trigger, qualified nursing, same definition to qualify I gave you before, but now because they're going to live a little longer, the maximum accelerated rate for a full acceleration is 90% less the admin charge. And for extended care situations, again, they're going to live longer yet, same definition to qualify, but now the maximum accelerated rate is at 80% less the admin charge. Now remember, in all of these 3 scenarios, if the client wants to do a partial acceleration, they can keep a certain amount of life insurance paid up and then accelerate the balance at these percentages. And always remember, these accelerated benefits are available upon issue. Chronic illness definition, it's the same, 2 out of 6 activities of daily living or a client suffering from a severe organic mental illness. So now let's look at the premiums to death benefits. And I want you to start thinking about all those people you're seeing who are complaining, like we all are, that, wow, you know, I'm making less than 1% interest on my CDs at the bank, and I'm still getting a 1099 on it. It's a very low interest rate environment, and it eats seniors up. If they've got money sitting in these CDs and they're just trying to pass it along, it's going to be pretty obvious this looks much better. Here's a 65-year-old non-tobacco user who's got 50 grand in that CD, and at level 1 underwriting, the face amount we can issue for the male is nearly $82,000, and for the female, nearly $93,000. But let's not forget, you've got that second tier available. So what you'll find with all ages and genders, that second tier face amount is only about $5,000 to $6,000 less than level 1 underwriting. So pretty sweet here. So let's go back to, what was the impact here? taking money from a CD making less than 1%. They're frustrated with it. Now you're taking 50 grand and you're increasing this lady's estate by nearly $43,000. And her only goal was to pass it along anyway. So she says, well, TJ, what if I was making 3% interest on my money? That's not going to happen in a CD today. But what if I was making 3% and I'm in a 25% tax bracket? It would take her 28 years just to accumulate and match the increase you gave her in estate value of nearly $43,000. Always remembering that the life insurance is there to be paid income tax free. Here's the 70-year-old, older but shorter life expectancy, but the numbers still look good. So with that same 50 grand, you're increasing the male's estate value up front by nearly $24,000, the woman's estate by nearly or just over $32,000. And again, you have that second tier of underwriting, which is only about a $5,000 to $6,000 reduction. Sweet as sweet can be. People love this, especially when you're rolling cash money from CDs that they're making next to nothing. They love this concept. First, I've heard words like, is this legal? They can't believe that this works this way, and they didn't know about it. And again, when you sell this and you've got them understanding it, my gosh, it's going to give you great opportunities to get referrals, not just the first time, but multiple times over your relationship. Same story on forms. Go to the product toolkits, get your forms. It's all right there. And we have plenty of great marketing tools, and I'll show you a few of those. So let's talk now, because this is a big one, about what I think is the icing on the cake. And it really is the way we underwrite this business. Yes, it is simplified underwriting, but you know, with annuity producers, they hate life insurance underwriting. That's why they sell annuities. So we said to our annuity producers many years back when we started Generation Legacy, what if we can give you an immediate underwriting decision before you start fooling around with the transfer of funds? And that's what point of sale underwriting is. Finish the sale, get on the phone. We're going to complete with your client about a 12-minute interview. And we're going to ask them basically the same health questions that you're completing on the paper app that you're going to submit to us. The only difference is we're going to fire off and look at the MIB and script data, prescription data, to determine if there's anything conflicting in that database with how the client's answering the questions. We're going to get clarity and make a decision right then and there. So once we make the decision, we don't communicate that to your client. We communicate it to you, the agent. You're the one that's going to communicate that back to the client. We'll also give you a confirmation number that we ask you to write on the first page of the app that you're going to submit. Once the appointment's done, get back to your office, get all the forms off to us. We give you those instructions. So also in the cover sheet with the instructions are the phone numbers and times and instructions to call our call center to do this interview. Phone number there, 888-368-9678. The hours for the call center are 9 a.m. to 10:30 p.m., Monday through Thursday, as well as 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Fridays. These are Eastern times. Now, we do support both English and Spanish. Other languages are available upon request. If you have a hearing impaired client, we do have TTY services in both English and Spanish. The key thing to remember is that the interview must be completed within 5 calendar days for us to complete your app. Now, you might say to yourself, well, what if I write a piece of business on a Saturday or after hours? What do I do? Always call the call center. When your voice prompted, leave your name and number, your client's name and number, and a date and time you want us to complete the interview. We'll call them back. You don't have to be present. We'll get the interview done. And again, call you back with the underwriting decision. We don't tell the client, we tell you, you're the one that's going to communicate it. If it's during normal hours, everything gets done in one session. What about pre-qualifying the applications? We have an app for each product, and the reason we do is that for Generation Legacy, we have one tier of underwriting. And as a result, we have one section of medical questions. So if you answer yes to any of those questions in Part A, it just means your client doesn't qualify through 4 tables. But if you're all no, height and weight, MIB, and drug history looks good, we're going to issue Generation Legacy. For single premium whole life, because we have 2 tiers of underwriting, we have a Part A and Part B. Again, think of Part A as your knockouts. If you get a yes in Part A, it means your client is not qualified through 8 tables. of underwriting. But if you're all know in parts A and B, everything else looks good, we're going to issue tier 1, which is standard through table 4. If you're all know in part A, but one yes in part B, with everything else looking good, we're at tier 2, which is tables 5 through table 8. So with that, I'm going to make a very quick transition here to another short slide deck, because we're going to finish our session up today by talking about some marketing support. Now, I can tell you this, and I never cease to be amazed when I'm working with IMES and hearing their start to these webinars, the amount of marketing support they provide you. I mean, I'm a licensed agent. I'm not active, but I can tell you I salivate at the support that they give you. I mean, I would sign up in a heartbeat with IMES if I was, actively producing today. But I'll tell you this, we also provide on our agent site a lot of other good materials for you. Certainly IMES would be the number you'd want to call, though, if you're trying to learn about how to put your foot into this marketplace, or you need some case consultation. They're great in understanding and helping you develop a strategy. But out on our agent website, we have these product toolkits. Those are the color boxes at the top. And inside the product toolkits, and this is Generation Legacy, you'll really find everything you need out there to sell and market the products. One of the things we've talked about a lot is the printable application and forms package. That's all right there. And just a lot of other great tools. Let's talk about a few of those here today. If you miss everything else I'm talking about in terms of support, write this one down. mobile.baltlife.com. That's our mobile link site. That's a URL address, and you're simply going to use that on your smartphone, smart tablet, or anything connected. If you're on your phone or smart tablet or anywhere, hit the link on your phone, for example, that will allow you to create a shortcut to your phone so it just launches like any other app. So it'll create a Baltimore Life ship icon that says mobile link, and now you click it and you're ready to go. So now this is like having an electronic agent guide that's interactive in the palm of your hand. You'll be able to get the product and underwriting information for both these products we talked about today, as well as an interactive rate and value calculator. I mean, I can tell you that agents do, and certainly I personally work with this tool in front of clients where, they wanted to see that spreadsheet I showed you for Generation Legacy earlier. I can do that right here. This is a non-illustrated product, so you can provide all the numbers you need right there on your smartphone. It's great. We also have out on the site something that we built that you can download. It's called Secure Solutions Presenter. It basically is an electronic storybook that will provide you conceptual presentations on all of our products and some other financial concepts. This happens to be the one for Generation Legacy. It does a good job of explaining the concept of asset transfer, who it benefits, good dialoguing questions for your interview, features and benefits of the solution, and then it just goes on to just show a lot of good visual, conceptual presentation that's going to help support the client's understanding of what you're selling. Because once you've done a good fact find, you always want to make sure that the client, of course, understands the concept of asset transfer. Once they get that, the illustration will just cement that understanding and drive you to a close. Another form out there that's in our product toolkits for both products is something called the asset transfer analysis form. I'm sure you have great fact find tools, and hopefully you're using them well. If you need a supplement, this form can help you. In the middle, you can record the client's current assets not needed for daily living. And just to the right of that, you can show them that if you transfer a portion of those funds into one of these two products, the impact that'll make on their estate value. The bottom of the form allows you to record their current income because, of course, you want to make sure they have enough income before you start disturbing those funds. The top of the form gives you those key dialoguing questions. They're the same ones that are in the presentation I just showed you. But one of those questions are, Mrs. Jones, do you have money that you'd like to leave behind for your family or favorite charities that's maybe really not needed for your daily living? Most people get the leave behind money concept. And if they don't, this is, it's going to create a great conversation, isn't it? This form that I'm showing you now just highlights another document we have out there. It's called Single Premium Sales Ideas. Some great sales ideas for you. They're explained in full, make sure you have a blank sheet of paper alongside of you, because it's going to start generating ideas of people you can immediately go out and see. Those annuity clients who are not needing it for income. What about some of the older paid up life policies you run into? You can 1035 those into single premium whole life. Or maybe the failing ULs, you can 1035 those into single premium whole life. And let's not forget about that burial account concept that I role played with you earlier. We also have some great customizable marketing flyers that explains the concepts of asset transfer, features and benefits of the solution, and then you can personalize your contact information on it and print off as many as you need. We also have this great easy spreadsheet tool, selling single premium whole life. I can't tell you how many times we've used this. Client says, "Oh, I'm going to put money into the CD for my grandkids for their college fund. This is a nice thing," and it is a nice thing. But at less than 1% in whatever tax bracket they're in, this can show them very visibly the impact it would make if they put it into the single premium whole life product versus in that CD after tax. We have print ads out there for your use. We have letters. We have phone scripts. We have third-party articles and white papers. All of that information, again, is out on our agent website inside of these product toolkits. So before I finish, one quick plug here, TJ, and that is our agent conference we have coming up next year. Great agent conference. We're going to be at Amelia Island down in Florida at the Omni Amelia Island Plantation Resort next May. You and a guest, all expenses paid. And to qualify, we're only talking about $600,000 in premium. I mean, if you qualify for your IMS trips and you're writing Baltimore Life Business, you're going to qualify for us and for them and have two great trips. So please make sure you take a look at the details on this conference trip next year, next May, on our agent website. So with that, TJ, I'm signed out, and it's back to you. I want to thank everyone for participating today. Heck, I know you have choices out there, and I really, really appreciate you considering Baltimore Life for your business. Thanks so much.
Gary, thank you so much for sharing such valuable information with us, and then also that trip at the end. As Gary mentioned, you qualify for a trip with us, and I mean, that would automatically qualify you for what looks like an awesome trip with Baltimore Life as well. Again, just some great information shared there. Just checking quick here to see if we have any questions. If you do have one and have not yet typed it, feel free to do so. Gary, I may be opening up Pandora's box here, but any maybe summary thoughts or just a quick sentence or two on the DOL and the Generation Legacy product, maybe some things that are questions.
Yeah, we sent out a communication on the DOL, and kind of our position on that just went out about a week ago, or actually less than a week ago. All your agents should have received that. I would say to you that if you have any questions, certainly contact IMS, but we also have an email address there within our legal department that would be happy to address the questions. I don't think it's going to be a real impact, keeping in mind that we've got money that's going to a SPIA first, and the SPIA is going to fund life insurance. But that's something that I think our legal team is better equipped to answer. We have not seen or anticipate any impact, but that's something that I think IMS and our legal team can maybe guide you through.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I appreciate that answer, and yeah, I want to encourage each one of you, if you do have any questions related to the subject, to reach out to us, and we've made a concerted effort to get out lots of communication on that. We actually had a webinar, I think it was yesterday, that kind of lined some of those things out. Did have a commission question on the product. Gary, you can address that if you'd like. If
Okay.
not, feel free to reach out to us here at IMS. We've got the commission schedules for all the Baltimore Life products. I can't say without going into a lot of detail that extremely generous in comparison to other carriers out there with similar products. So
Yeah, our street level matches up and exceeds most cases what's out there. This is something that, obviously because of relationships with, our partners, the IMOs, we really in these type calls don't get into specifics on commissions, but I think you'll be very, very pleased with the commission levels. I know what IMS does, and I'm going to let them again ask you to call them and talk about that. But my gosh, it's it's a nice contract, is all I'll tell you.
yeah, I'll echo the same. And yeah, if you'd like to get with me here today, you can feel free to shoot me an email as well at tj@imsinc.com, and I'd be more than happy to communicate those levels to you. Got another question here, and yes, I will be sending out a copy or a recording of the presentation here yet early afternoon. You'll get an email from me with a link to the recording as well as some contracting information, so you can anticipate that. Great information, great presentation. I have a comment here, but a lot of information. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So again, you'll have the time to kind of view that at the speed in which it's comfortable for you, and kind of grasp and the things that you may have missed. So yeah, I'm going to launch another.
Yeah, Gary's that guy from the Northeast. He talks fast, so cram in a lot into an hour, in less than an hour. So
For sure. No, that's good. I'm going to launch another quick poll here. If you'd like contracting information for Baltimore Life, please indicate that there, yes or no, and I will follow up with you on that. So get some information out to you here today, and would love to discuss with any of you, any more detail on the particular product, or if you have a case that you're working on or a prospect that came to mind during the webinar. Would love to talk through those scenarios with you, put together an illustration or two for you, get you out any product information you need. So I will close this poll here in just a second. And again, with that, I want to thank you each for your attendance. Have a great rest of your Friday. Great weekend. I know we're in for a hot one here in Omaha. So if that's the same case for you, be careful out there. Gary, thank you again for your time. Look forward to the next one, my friend.
thank you.
All right, everyone, have a great day.